learning outcome of this video. The inter-process communication approaches of IPC, message passing pipes and name pipes. The inter-process communications, it's called as the IPC. IPC topic is from the third chapter. Operating system provides a cooperating processes to communicate with each other via as an inter-process communications IPC facility. There are applications that involve each executing multiple processes concurrently. Processes work together to perform application specific tasks. They are referred to as a cooperating and it's called the interacting processes. Cooperating processes are loosely connected in the sense that they have independent private address spaces and run at different speeds. The relative speeds of the processes are not normally known. From time to time, they interact among themselves by exchanging information. An exchange of information among the processes is called as the inter-process communication. IPC is a set of programming interfaces that allow a programmer to coordinate activities among the different program processes that can run concurrently in an operating system. This allows a program to handle many user requests at the same time, since even a single user request may result in multiple processes running in the operating systems on the user's behalf. The processes need to communicate with each other. The IPC interfaces make this possible. Each IPC method has its own advantages and limitations, so it is not unusual. The processes executing concurrently in the operating system might be either independent programs or the cooperating processes. Inter-process communications IPC is a set of programming interfaces that allow a program to coordinate activities among the different programs processes that can run concurrently in an operating system. IPC enables an applications to control another applications and for several applications to share the same data without interfering with one another. IPC is required in all multiprocessing systems, but it is not generally supported by a single process operating system such as the DOS, OS/2 and MS Windows. These are the operating systems. IPC is particularly useful in a distributed environment where the communicating processes may reside on different computers connected with a network. For example, the chat programs used on the World Wide Web (WWW) and IPC is the best provided by a message passing system. The approaches of a IPC is the IPC is belonging to the shared memory pipe, message passing, name pipe, sockets and message queue. The purposes of IPC: the data transfer, sharing data, event notification, resources sharing and synchronizations and process control. IPC is one of the most common concepts used in operating system and distributed computing system. It deals with how multiple processes can communicate among each other. The approaches IPC: first is the file. A record stored on a disk or a record synthesized on demand by a file server which can be accessed by a multiple process. And second is the socket, a data stream sent over a network interface either to different process on the same computer or to another computer on the network. Typically, byte-oriented sockets rarely preserve the next next approach is pipe, a unidirectional data channel. Data returned to the right end of the pipe is buffered by the operating system until it is read from the read end of the pipe. Two-way data streams between the processes can be achieved by creating a two pipes utilizing the standard input and next is the shared memory. IPC using a memory requires a region of a shared memory among the communicating processes. Processes can then exchange information by reading and writing data to the shared region. Typically, a shared memory region resides in the address space of the process, creating the shared memory segments. Other processes that wish to communicate using the shared memory segment must attach to their address space. Normally, the operating system does not allow one process to access the memory regions of another process. Shared memory requires that two or more processes agree to remove the restrictions. They can then exchange the informations by reading and writing data in the shared areas. The form of the data and the locations are determined by these processes and are not controlled by the operating system. The processes are also responsible for ensuring that they are not writing to the same location simultaneously. Consider the producer-consumer problems if the producer process procedures information that is consumed by a consumer process. Two types of buffer can be used in here. These buffers will reside in a regions of a memory that is shared by the producers and consumers procedure. A producer can produce one item while the consumer too consuming the another item. The producer and the consumer must be synchronized so that the consumer does not try to consume as items that has not yet been produced. The two types of buffers are used, the unbounded buffer and bounded buffer. Unbounded buffer places no practically limit in the size of the buffer. The consumer may have to wait for new items, but the producer can always produce a new item. And a bounded buffer, the bounded buffer has a fixed size buffer. In this case, the consumer must. Next is the message passing. They allows multiple programs to communicate using a message queue and or non-OS managed channels, commonly used in concurrency models. Next is the message queue, a data stream similar to a socket, but which usually preserve the message boundaries. Typically implemented by the OS, they allow multiple processes to read and write to the message. We will discuss about in detail the message for the message passing. And message passing is the important sections in the IPC. IPC is the inter-process communication. The message passing provides a mechanism for a processes to communicate and to synchronize their actions without sharing the same address space. The message passing provides a mechanism to allow processes to communicate and to synchronize their actions without sharing the same address space and is particularly useful in a distributed environment where the communicating processes may reside on the different computers connected by a network. For example, the figure shows is the message passing. A chat programs used on the World Wide Web (WWW) could be designed so that the chat participants communicate with one another by exchanging the message. So that's why the object A is transfer the message to the object B. Obviously, the sending object is the object A and receiving object is the object B. So whenever we will send the message from A to B, that time message passings are active. So IPC facility provide the two operations, is the sending and receiving messages. The function of a message system is to allow processes to communicate with one another without the need to resort to shared data. In this schema, services are provided as a ordinary use processes. That is, the service operate outside of the kernel. Communicating among the user processes is accomplished through the passing of a message. An IPC facility provided the send and receive. If a process A and B want to communicate, that means the object A and the object B want to communicate to each other, they must send message to and receive message from each other. A communications link must exist between them. Figure shows the basic message passing primitive. The sending process and the receiving process are there. In previous slides, I have already explained how is work in the message passing, how it works in the message passing from the one section to another section. So there are the two operations are performed in the message passing. First is the sending process and second is the receiving process. So object A is sending process is belonging to the sending process and the object B is belong from the receiving process. So then whenever you want they want to communicate with each other, the sending process is providing this message from the sending process through the sending process, and then message is the going through the message passing modules. After that, this modules is communicate with each other with the receiving process. Then message passing is converted the data from the one point to another. Then the message and address are included there, and after that this receiving processes is receive the message from the object A. Object B is the receive the message from the object A. So the message passing primitive is the easy technique of is the sending process and the message format. Then whenever using IPC, the message passing from one to another, that times which formats are used in this message. So the consist of the header and body of the message are there. The figure shows the message contains the body, and the header is the message type, destination ID, source ID, message length and the control information. And the message type, destination ID, source ID, message length and control information is belonging to the header, and body is the message content. Whatever you want to send the message from object A to B, that time you can add the message in the body of the messenger, and then header is the main. Whenever you you send the message from one to another, that times you want to you have to create for the destination ID, source ID, message length, how many message which types of message you have to send there, how many lengths are there, and the control informations are included there. So these are the things are included in the header, and the body is the message contents are there. Which types of message you want to say, this is This is included in the body section. So the consist of the header and the body of the message are there. Then after that, in Unix, no ID, only passage types are there. And in this section, in the Unix operating system, no one anyone IDs you have to provide it there. You have to only type out the message in body section. Then next is the pipeline. Pipelines is a sequence of processes chained together by their standard streams, so that the output of each process feeds directly as an input to the next one. It is widely used for communication between the two related processes. In the figure shows two processes are there, the P1 and P2 is there, and whenever you want to send a message from the P2 process to provide it the message to the message from one to another, that times you have to use the pipe there. The pipeline is a sequence of processes chained together by their standard streams, and so that the output of each process feeds directly as an input to the next one. So then this is the half duplex method. So the first process communicates with the second process. There are two types of categories in the pipelines. The first is the linear pipeline and second is the non-linear pipeline. Linear pipelines processor is a series of processing stages and the memory accesses. And second is the non-linear pipelines, also called the dynamic pipeline, can be configured to perform the various functions at a different types. In a dynamic pipeline, there is also feed forward. We will discuss about in detail the message passing, and message passing is the important sections in the IPC. IPC is the inter-process communication. The message passing provides a mechanism for a processes to communicate and to synchronize their actions without sharing the same address space. The message passing provides a mechanism to allow processes to communicate and to synchronize their actions without sharing the same address space, and is particularly useful in a distributed environment where the communicating processes may reside on the different computers connected by a network. For example, the figure shows is the message passing. A chat programs used on the World Wide Web (WWW) could be designed so that the chat participants communicate with one another by exchanging the message. So that's why the object A is transfer the message to the object B. Obviously, the sending object is the object A and receiving object is the object B. So whenever we will send the message from A to B, that time message passings are active. So IPC facility provides the two operations, is the sending and receiving messages. The function of a message system is to allow processes to communicate with one another without the need to resort to shared data. Next is the message passing. They allows multiple programs to communicate using a message queue and or non-OS managed channels, commonly used in concurrency models. Next is the concept of semaphore. In designing of the operating system, it is required to allow concurrent executions of an collections of an operating system. The two processes can cooperate through the means of signals, so that a process can be held at a specific point until it receives a specific signal. For this purpose, a special tool is used called semaphore. Specifically, semaphores are used to control access to a shared resource (mutual exclusion). We know very well about the mutual exclusions in the previous slides. Then, next is the signal the occurrence of an event, and third is allow two tasks to synchronize their activities. A semaphore is basically a key that your code requires to continue a execution. If the semaphore is already in use, the requesting task is suspended until the semaphore is released by its current owner. In other words, the requesting task says, give me the key. If you don't have it, I am willing to wait for it. A semaphore is a variable or abstract data types is used to control access to a common resource by multiple processes in a concurrent systems, such as a multitasking operating system. A semaphore is simply a Semaphores are integer variables that are used to solve the critical sections problem by using two atomic operations, wait and signal, that are used for the process synchronization. The definitions of a wait and signals are as the wait operation decrements the value of its arguments s if it is a positive. If s is negative or 0, then no operations is performed. And in the signal operations increments the value of its argument s. Then the types of semaphore. There are two main types of semaphores, that is the counting semaphore and binary semaphore. Now we will discuss about the types of the semaphore. The details about these are given. The counting semaphore and binary semaphore. Binary semaphores are like a counting semaphores, but their value is restricted to 0 and 1. The wait operations only works when the semaphore is 1 and the signal operation succeed when a semaphore is 0. It is sometimes easier to implement binary semaphores than counting semaphores. Next is the counting semaphore. These are integer value semaphores and have an unrestricted value domain. The semaphores are used to coordinate the resource access, where the semaphore count is the number of available resources. If the resources are added, semaphores count automatically incremented, and if the resources are removed, the count is decremented. In a counting semaphore, however, allows values between the 0 and 255, 6.53 or 4 large of numbers are there. Then it is the depending on whether it is implemented using 8, 16 or 32 bits respectively. The size depends on the kernel use. In practice, 32-bit semaphores are pretty rare. Along with the semaphores value, you need to keep the track of any tasks that are waiting for it. Semaphore s is an integer value that, apart from the initialization, is an access to standard atomic operations, wait and signals. I told in the previous, these operations were originally termed P for the wait and from the Dutch problems to test and V for the signals. Then the integer value of the semaphore in the wait and signals operation must be executed individually. That is, when one process modifies the semaphore values, no other process can simultaneously modify this same semaphore's value. Now, Next is the advantages of semaphore. So some of the advantages are here. The first is the semaphore allows only one process into the critical section. They follow the mutual exclusion principle strictly and are much more efficient than some other methods of synchronization. There is no resource wastage because of busy waiting in semaphores as a processor time. Thank you.